Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? It is Solar Gray, your cinematic sorcerer, and we had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the equipment over here, but that's okay because we made everything work because that is part of the magic. So, as I was saying, I am Solar Gray, your cinematic sorcerer. What's going on? And welcome to Buster Recap. I am here today with my good friend and cohort.
License Hench, how are you doing, everybody?
Yeah, so, oh man, so I was actually meaning to give you a little less headroom. Okay, not that much less. Yeah, about there. All right, cool. Let's
How's
take a
that?
look.
Better? Okay.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's a whole lot better.
Oh,
A
right,
whole
right,
lot
right.
better. That's the stuff going on right there. And well, it has been a minute, and hopefully everything is going. Oh yeah, we are good. We're good. We're totally good.
All right.
So, um, so, welcome to Buster Recap, the show where two middle aged dudes sit up and talk about the stuff that they are watching on the TV. But we're only covering two shows at a time, and we do episode by episode breakdowns just for you. It was actually funny. I saw a meme. Well, I'm not sure if it was a meme or a comic. I should have like brought it up, but it was the four types of podcasters, and it showed like the angry people screaming about politics, um, the three friends who get really high and talk about nothing, the breakdown of something on TV or at the movies that actually takes longer than the thing that they're breaking down, and a person talking about their pets. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm covered in numbers one, two, and three. um, yeah. And I'm just like, hey, that's kind of accurate, actually, because
So maybe we need to mix it up and be angry people who scream about their pets, or
I don't
three
have any
friends,
pets.
three friends that get stoned and talk about politics. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I don't get stoned and I don't have any pets, so I can't fall into those other demographics. Oh, man. So, I want to thank you for showing up and, just kind of being here, making it down another week. Got some stuff, man. I got hit hard this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Hit really hard this weekend. Um, I got hit really hard with some knowledge that I don't like.
Ah,
And you know what that is?
no.
I'm going to be losing like a lot of people for like 2 months.
Why?
Hmm?
What's going on?
Because spring is here, spring is here, life is pudding and time for Ren Fair. Seriously, I'm gonna have like a lot of people leaving over the course of March, April, and May,
Mm.
to work at their various Ren fairs, and I'm like, oh, for real? For real? That is not okay. That's fine. Since I'm not paying you, I can't like yell at you or anything like that. So, so we're gonna be making a few changes around here for that time.
Okay.
Yeah, which means um, if I can't find any other co hosts to show up in more days, it's going to be a lot more of me doing stuff by myself. That's right. Y'all get to see me rant. Please stay. Please, please. Um, but yeah, so
Either
that
that,
is.
or we've
Yeah.
got to wrap the cameras in a skull, and you can go gibber from the Ren Fair remote transmitting.
No. I retired from Ren Fair in 2001. I have not gone back. Like, I think I've gone three times since 2001, and that was two times too many.
Yeah, but I've already working on the GoPro skull in my head. My biggest problem is battery life.
Well, that's good to know. I'm gonna double check, see how our audio is going.
Yeah, sorry, GoPro scroll needs to happen now.
Ah,
I can use that for Halloween.
yeah, we got a little bit of audio problems.
Uh-oh.
That is what I'm checking. Hang on. Okay, are we sound? Oh, all right, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
that
chipmunk thing.
that should be good.
All right.
No. But I am also double checking our sound here. Yeah, our mics are good.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, we had a moment with sound on our last show where I had the monitor up too high, so every time we spoke, we got a little bit of feedback at the end of every sentence.
Just that touch. Yeah.
Just a
It's
tiny bit. So again, I'm just doing what I can to make sure that everything is good. Making sure that everything is good. So as I was saying, yeah, hopefully the sound is good. Let me know if anybody's in MP City. And you can tell I'm tired because I got my radio announcer voice going on. Like today on NPR, we're going to be talking about this. I'm not nearly as boisterous as I normally am. But yeah, so I'm going to be losing a few people for Ren Fair. That is, they're going to be like gone. I'm going to be like, no, come back. And they're like, you don't pay me enough to give up my weekends all the time. I'm like, you're right. I need to start paying people. Unfortunately, I can only clean so many houses. You know what I mean? So yeah. But again, so since I'm losing a few people and making a few changes and spending a lot more time writing because I'm going to be going at this solo for 3 to 4 days a week for a little while, please don't work Ren Fair, please. I seriously appreciate you showing up, and I seriously appreciate you guys showing up. So know that, I know there ain't many of you guys watching out there right now, but also from the archives, yeah, come on down for a live show and all that stuff. And how do you come down for a live show? Well, you can come on down, follow us over at twitch.tv/BID_P. But if you really want to join us in the shows, then you can always hit us up at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTAGEECK@gmail.com. You can also check out the archives, as you're probably doing right now, over at YouTube. I don't put them up every day on YouTube because I like my YouTube subscribers to feel like there's a little treat waiting for them. The fact that I don't have a whole lot of time to pump out content for YouTube every single day. But it's out there. We do stuff. Sometimes I just tell people to be better people. But on top of that, you can also follow us on Twitter. I'm doing a lot more Twitter interactions, and so are some of the other Prime Deckers out there that are like, hey, what's going on? I like this new game. I like this new game. So we got some good stuff going on there. And of course, if you want to see what I'm working on or what the Henchman's working on or what the Duggernaut's working on, then you gotta join that group, the group that we have, that we get together in that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook. Join the Deckers on the Book. That is the Deckers on the Book site, or Deckers on the Book group. It's a public group, so all you gotta do is join it and check out the stuff that we talk, like the motivational speeches, what we've been 3D printing, all the models that we're building that we'll never play with, all of the miniature terrain that we're doing, and all of the merchandise that we're working on to put in the Back in the Deck merch store. Now, if you're like us and you spend a lot of time behind the wheel of a car, you should not be watching this. You should be listening to it on SoundCloud. Now, as of Wednesday, January, before the 10th, the SoundCloud is going to be up with the complete archive because the people have spoken, so I will pay the yearly fee to put the archive back on SoundCloud instead of trying to go to Stitcher or iTunes or anything like that, because people like the idea of downloading our shows and listening to them, and there might even be a DJ or two sampling us out there. But if you are, freaking hit us up. I want to have you on the show. So that's at soundcloud.com/BID_P. And of course, follow us on Instagram at BackInTheDeck. Now, when I say anything like that, that's some fun stuff that I like dealing with. And I really do appreciate you guys. And a lot of people give us support, and I like that. A lot of people give us support. If you guys want to give us some direct support financially, if you feel like it, then visit our GoFundMe page, because we've got GoFundMe. And that's like, hey, I just want to slice these guys like $10, $15, especially if you don't like us. Most of the stuff you don't like about us is because we're using very, very inexpensive equipment. We've got some expensive stuff, but can't afford a whole lot. And if you really like what we're doing and you really want to get out there and you say, you know what, these guys, I want these guys to be my friend. I want to hang out with these guys. I want to see these guys more often. Then hit us up over at our Patreon. Now that really helps us keep the lights on. And all of our shows go up on Patreon anywhere between an hour and a week after we do the live broadcast. And I'm getting a lot better about putting them on Patreon and taking them off our Twitch channel. So that is a really big thing. Like, we've chosen Patreon because honestly there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, hit us up on that stuff. But if you have suggestions or you want to argue with any of that stuff, I'm down. But you have to hit me up in an email at backinthedeck@gmail.com. Now, pretty soon, I'm going to be reading the emails that we receive at the end of every show. So just, mark it with the people that you want to talk to, because, our schedule is pretty set. Saturdays is the weekly one shot. Sunday is the game gallery with the Duggernaut. Mondays is Bust a Recap with the Henchman. Thursdays, when we have table talk, most of the time it's with the bar at the deck. So, send the letters, ask the questions and all that stuff, and we will answer them on air. So with that, I'm going to say, hey, thank you again for showing up. Man, I would say hey to the deck mob today, but they've been misbehaving. The deck mob is absolutely misbehaving, so that's okay. When you guys come on back and give me a hashtag, then I'll say some stuff to you guys. So anyway, how was your week, man? How was your week?
Well, it's been pretty good. Pretty much hit out over the weekend. Didn't do much because of the rain. I'm not a big football guy, so Super Bowl weekend was kind of quiet for me.
That's right. The Super Bowl was yesterday. I didn't mention that on the Anomaly game. I meant to. Mm-hmm. That was like a total missed marketing opportunity, saying, hey, gamers, I know y'all don't like the football, or as y'all call it, sports ball, so tune in to us. But drop that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was a no pun intended moment.
No pun intended moment. Yeah, but so I wound up binge watching a couple of shows. I binge watched Russian Doll, which.
Yeah, how was that? It keeps popping up on my Netflix thing, and it just keeps going, keeps playing like, what was it, Crimson and Clover, which I really like, but then you know how Netflix does that thing of, hey, watch this, here's a preview, I don't want it, shut up, you're taking it.
It was weird. Mm-hmm. It was very New York, for starters, very New York, and very brassy, assertive New York woman in a Groundhog Day situation, and curses. Are we garbly again?
We are garbly again, and okay. I'm not quite sure why.
All right. I'll
it's okay. Hopefully this will come out in the post-recording. But, yeah, this is...
You don't read lips?
No, lips are way too, seriously. Hopefully we're back. Yeah, lips are way too difficult to read, because a lip is like, what's the term, like a signature or a habit or something like that. Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, well, as I was saying, the show's weird in a good way. I enjoyed it, but I would. My roommate came in just as it was finishing off, and it suddenly shit, because he cracked up because it's been this weird kind of sci-fi mystery thing, and then in the very end kind of morphs into this pseudo romantic comedy.
Okay.
And which isn't really a romantic comedy because it doesn't necessarily end romantically. But it was there were some very funny moments. My personal favorite is when she freezes to death, and she realizes she freezes to death. She goes, "I froze to death."
Ah,
That's so dark.
I may have to check it out. Yeah, and it turns out we're only sounding garbled here through the monitor.
Local monitor. Okay,
Yeah,
I won't
so
worry about it then.
yeah, so that's the thing.
But,
This episode is going to be a
and
pain
then,
for me to edit.
And then Sunday, I found out there was new episodes of Z Nation, so I watched that. And which again, my roommate walked in just as the episode they had the giant radioactive zombie rats, and he's like, "I'm out. That's too much." I'm done. And I'm like, "Yeah, they keep ramping up the crazy, and they're running out of crazy." And then at the end of the episode, we discovered that there weren't actually radioactive giant zombie rats because they finally managed to kill one, and it says "ow." And it turns out it was a guy with puppets, crazy guy with puppets, messing with them.
So a dude with puppets was making it look like they were being attacked by rats from Fallout.
Yes. Yeah, and the crazy thing is I was like, well, that's a meta moment. Because they literally killed the puppeteer who was doing the special effects for the show. Because, like, when the guy falls over, I think they just put the puppeteer in, like, Mad Max makeup and just...
I did not do enough drugs in the 80s. That's all I'm going to say. I really didn't. I didn't do enough.
Yeah, that was a weird episode. That show's kind of hit or miss. That was one of my more guilty pleasures. I wouldn't say it's a good show, but I enjoy it because I'm like the stick man. I like kind of the lower level. The production values are okay, and it's watchable. The problem is that like every they have a lot of filler episodes where it's like the whole time I'm watching this, I'm not seeing a zombie apocalypse movie. I'm seeing a D&D campaign.
Okay.
Because a lot of the characters will go off and do silly stuff or do stupid stuff, or there's these bizarre side quests for no apparent reason, and you're like, no, these are the players. These are player characters. Especially when it comes down to they start screwing up the world more and more, so then they deny that they were ever involved with that situation.
Okay.
They have like a recap, and then all the zombies left and like turned into a giant zombie ball in the Grand Canyon. We were nowhere near the Grand Canyon. And then they have an episode where they have to get the president's thumbs, and in the end, we were nowhere near Cheyenne Mountain. I'm just remembering as a D&D player games where we did that, where we go on an adventure and realize that we screwed things up so bad.
Yeah. Isn't it weird, like, being a gamer, we see, like, that whole adage of when your only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And being a gamer, we just keep looking at things through the lens of, well, let's see, if this was in a game, I'd be rolling a dodge roll, or I'd be making a perception check, or, okay, yeah, there's this. Nope, yeah, those guys are gamers. Look at them, yeah. Of course, we all know that the quintessential gamers, or how can I put it? Again, another meme, they've just been popping up. It showed the Fellowship of the Rings, and it was what every party thinks they're starting off as.
Yeah.
And then under it shows the knights, or Arthur and the knights from Monty Python's Holy Grail. Yeah. What they really end up being.
Yeah.
And, I'm like...
Yeah, I'm specifically thinking of one of our players who, if his character has Fireball, he fixes everything by casting Fireball. Look, we're just trying to ask the innkeeper for information. I set the inn on fire. I'm not exaggerating. It's like, I remember he was rolling up a character. I'm like, do you think I should do a fire mage? I'm like, no. If you do a fire mage, all you're going to do is burn everything.
Yep, that is exactly what we do, and that is exactly how we think. But I've been talking about games and all that stuff on the channel for a little while. We're here to talk about the stuff that we are watching on the TV places. So you have been watching Cloak and Dagger, right?
Yep.
All right, and we're at episode 7, I think?
7, Lotus Eaters.
Yeah, episode 7, The Eater of the Loti.
Yep, or Ty can't catch a break.
Well, no. You can't, you can't give a break to the titular, you can't give a break to a character in a show like Cloak and Dagger, primarily because, how can I put this? How can I put it frankly? You can't give a break to Cloak and Dagger, or you would really be screwing up the source material.
Yeah. Yeah. Things have to be kind of crappy for both of them.
Yeah. But more so for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we last left them, he just saw his brother's best friend turn Kingpin, cover up his brother's death, has a heartfelt moment of do the right thing, be the person my brother would want you to be, and almost reaches him, and then he gets murdered by the same cop.
Yep.
And, Ty manages to get away because he has that teleport ability, which he still hasn't quite figured out how to use yet, but we'll get to that. And that leaves him literally broken and sobbing at Tandy's place. So that's not where we pick up.
No.
Where we pick up is years in the past with environmental science girl as a teenager baking her perfect cookie recipe in the Easy Bake Oven. And her dad's there, and her dad's teasing her, and she sends her dad off to go to the off to the oil decker, which is, if you remember, bad thing. And he goes there, so things go bad, and it explodes.
Yep.
And now we cut to Tandy and Ty. Ty explaining how he was almost there and lost it all again. And Tandy's, that's terrible, but I need a favor.
Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, I know you're hurting. I know this is bad, but there's this thing.
Yeah, I love the way that she sits down on that, like, okay, I'm gonna approach this real good because I don't want him to think that I don't care about his emotional pain, though I don't care about his emotional pain.
Especially watching that scene again for the second time in light of things that were said later in the episode. Oh, she's a bitch.
She is a terrible person, isn't she?
Terrible
She's
person.
like, she has got this story arc that goes across for a while where it's like, okay, you're a good guy, right? Oh no, you're just the protagonist.
Yeah.
That don't mean good guy because you're terrible.
So, quick run through the synopsis. So she convinces him to help her. He's like, "You're weird. You're a freak. I'm doing this, but I just want to establish this is not normal." They both jump into the guy's head. The whole time they keep hitting, "What's the worst that could happen?" And "What's the worst that happen?" It doesn't work. And Ty's like, "No, that's not the worst that can happen. The horrible things can happen." Ty seems to be approaching this eyes wide open, knowing how horrible an idea it is, but going along anyway because why not?
Well, they're just jumping into the deepest parts of this dude's subconscious and poking things.
Man who's been in a persistent catatonic state for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Trapped inside a metal door guarded by darkness and pain that she can't cross.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, and this is going to make me sound like just as bad a person, but seriously speaking, if I were in her position and I was asking this thing, I can see where the thought process of, well, what could happen? He could turn into more of a vegetable, And of course we got Ty going, no, we could kill him. We could take away any chance that he would have of recovering from this.
No, there's worse. They could die.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So they jump into his head, and they experience in his head he is reliving. He's in a Groundhog Day. He's in a permanent loop where he relives those last few moments over and over again, endlessly. He loses count at 100,000, and so they're dealing with that. He even tells them what they need to do to stop it, and they're like, "Okay, cool, we got this." And then the phone rings, and Tandy finds out it's her dad on the other line of the phone. So she's like, "I need to do this." So she talks to her dad on the phone, and Ty's like, "Yeah, you do that. I'm going to go, save this guy from the crazy while you deal with your dad, because I realize that's, a big deal for you, and I'm not even going to try to talk you out of that."
Right.
Now, the good news is, Ty can teleport really good here, because it's a mindscape, so his powers just work. He doesn't have to fight, against himself. So he manages to go and he does the things to stop the explosion, and things blow up and reset anyway. And he's like, "This isn't working," and this isn't working. We've got to leave. We can't pull this guy out. Just give up. And she's like, "Nah. I got my dad. I'm good." He's like, "We should leave now." He goes. She's like, "Fine, we'll leave together. How do you think we should do that?" "Well, we're just holding his hands. Let's just let go on the count of 3. "Sure. I'll let go on the count of 3.
That works every time in every single movie and all that jazz.
1, 2, 3.
Duck season, rabbit season.
Ty lets go. He's out. Tandy's not. She lied. Okay. So Ty hops back in, finds out Tandy, in that like 8 seconds or whatever when he was on the outside, has been in the loop for so long, she's literally lost her mind, and she's part of the crazy.
Well, time works different elsewhere.
Yeah. She stopped counting at 200. And Ty tries to logic her out, tries to guilt her out, finally manages to make her confront the truth. She realizes it's screwed up. They do what they need to do. They try to do to stop it. It still doesn't work. And then she harnesses her daddy issues to guilt the dude into breaking out of the loop. And that works. They wake up, and the daughter comes in to talk to dad. Dad, when he comes out of the trance, doesn't know who they are because, well, most people don't remember what was happening in their trance.
Right.
And plus, crazy 8 years locked in a loop. But the daughter finally gets to see him, and everything's good. And then when it's all said and done, late at night, Ty, who stole Tandy's phone number because he's learning from her all the wrong things, calls her in the middle of the night and shares audio recording that he has of his brother. And because one of the big things that plays out in their confrontation is she's like, "I have no friends. I'm not your friend. You're not my friend. You're a mark." But in that moment, they truly become friends. And they share the shared pain of losing a loved one. Because she's like, "Well, why are you calling me?" He goes, "You're the only one who would understand." And she's like, she gets it. And they have a genuine moment of honest emotional connection. And that's what the series ends on this nice kind of like bittersweet, okay, they've worked as a team and now they're genuinely friends. And even despite Tandy's issues, because Ty is doing all the right stuff. Tandy's kind of like, "Nah, I'm gonna screw up." So and there's a lot of imagery and but more importantly, in this episode, the guy gives them a tremendous amount of information.
Oh yeah.
He is the magical mouthpiece to present
exposition dumper.
Yeah, to present a lot of that missing information. Even if Ty and Tandy don't pick up on it, we, the audience, because we get to see all the other stuff that's going on, definitely do.
Right.
And we can drill into the more details on that because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there about magic. Basically, this episode is all about magic is real, magic works, because that's what they start out with first two.
Well,
you want to hit on those points?
Well, I'm gonna ask, like, what was your rating on this one? Because there is some stuff I watched the episodes too, and there's some stuff I want to talk about because I've been in this big picture kind of mindset. But what was your rating on it?
Ooh, I'm kind of torn between Three of a Kind and a Straight. Three of a Kind, Straight, Royal Flush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Three of a Kind and a Straight because
Full House.
Full House. Yeah, because we get a lot of information, but we do kind of change up the format. But they kind of have to change up the format because it was just the flashback there were a couple parts of it that felt I were a little more tropey.
Okay.
That I didn't necessarily appreciate, but they were true to the characters.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's a couple of important advancements for both the characters and as a team. So I think they did a real good job of bringing them together. But Tandy's really got to get over her shit and stop being a screw up.
Come on, man. Teenagers.
You know,
Okay. Well,
because
honestly.
she is really really broken, and Ty is making a lot of growth. She's one step forward, two steps back, kind
Yeah.
of thing, and she just needs to like get over herself. However, she has mastered her power because she used it for about 100 years straight inside the guy's head.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Like the first thing, like when he jumps back into her head, back in the second time, she's like bored, waiting for the phone call. Oh look, zombie monster attacking. Throws her light bay, kills it without even looking. Since when can you do that? She's like, I've been doing this for forever. And the other thing is
Next thing you know, she's going to be playing jazz piano,
Yeah.
and
And the other thing is, the problem is I couldn't see. It's not like I could like zoom in on the screen, but I so wished I could zoom in. Later on, when she's back in the real world, in the background, she has 4 lights in the altar lights in the church. She has some candles close to her, but she has 4 lights in the altar lights in the background that I swear are her light daggers. I couldn't tell if they were her light daggers. She just shoved 4 of them into the candles, or if they were supposed to be lit candles or whatever. I couldn't tell on the screen I was watching. But later on, when she blows out the candles, those are the only light source in the room. And the thing is they are unwavering and steady. So I think those might actually be her light daggers, which means she's figured out a way to make multiples and to make them persist. So that's important.
Yeah.
Or I might have just been reading too much into it. I don't know.
Well, when I took a look at this episode, or a relook at this episode, I was like, Lotus Eaters, clever, because I read. And, that whole reflection of the Iliad when they get to the Isle of the Lotus Eaters and they spend 10 years essentially sucking up a bunch of food and they turn into a bunch of animals. So, all right, I get that, yeah. But the father character that's been stuck there in his coma for the past 8 years was a really good exposition dumper. He was a good exposition dumper. But what I really liked about this episode was the overall theme of when you're locked in a cycle, no one else can pull you out.
Yeah.
It's on you to let that stuff go, and how easy it is. Now, we've got lots and lots of media out there that says, well, once you go to hell, it's hard to get out. We've got What Dreams May Come. We've got most of Greek mythology, a whole lot of underworld tales. And when they were down there, it was really interesting because you have Tandy that's doing the right thing for the wrong reason, but convinces Ty to do the right thing because Ty is genuinely a decent person.
Yeah.
But when he gets down there, I do like the nonchalantness of the dad character within the coma. He's like, yeah, no, they're coming over here. They're coming over there.
Yeah.
And
because it's Groundhog Day. Okay, it's time to hide. You don't want to catch Mr. Flambe's attention. Trust me on that one.
Yeah. And but I really like the idea that they had this whole, we're going to try every possible thing that we can think of, and it's all going to fail. Because it was showing that trope of, well, if we stop the thing from exploding in his head, maybe we can pull it out. And Ty just could never do it. Every time he tried to stop the explosion and turn down the heat thing and release the overpressure and stuff, it wasn't. That event was locked. And Tandy's temptation, and I thought it was really important that Ty didn't have one in this scenario, because he has a connection to that oil rig, but he doesn't exactly know his connection. But he does. But more to the point, his connection didn't happen inside of it.
Yeah.
Because
he even says that explosion is what made the cop shoot my brother.
And he doesn't know that explosion is what made him the dude with superpowers, or her, the girl with superpowers. But everything that he did to try and stop it was failing, because you can't punch your way out of everything.
Yeah.
And Tandy being locked into this cycle of grief that she was in.
Well, because the thing, as soon as she realized it was her dad on the phone, I'm like, well, she got what she wanted. Because she doesn't want justice for her father.
Nope.
What she wants is her father back. So she go in there to try to vindicate her father's name, but what she got was her father back, and that's what she really, really wanted. That was like and she's like, okay, I'm staying because I got this.
Yeah. I can have my daddy back here. And he's like, yeah, but it's not real. That his major theme in that whole thing, everything Ty was saying was, okay, I know, but it's not real. It's not real. You have to face reality. It's not real.
And then he convinces her. He tries to convince her to get out, and she's like, no, I'm gonna kill you. she's like throwing knives at him, and he's like, really, really, we're doing this. And so finally he says, I'll stop bugging you and stop, phone blocking you if you can just do one thing. Ask your dad a question that this guy wouldn't know.
Boom.
And you can see on her face, she doesn't want to. Even at the moment when he proposes that, she knows deep down inside it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And she asks the question, who's in the car behind you? And he's like, who's in the back seat of the car? And he's like, no one. And that's when she knows it's not her dad. Her dad's dead. And it's kind of that's when she breaks, because she just lost her dad all over again.
And see, that's the thing that made this episode important for me, because one of the things that was making Tandy such a difficult character to like was, again, it's a teenage thing, so I love the writing, but the character in and of itself was not very likable due to the fact that you could see, and again, this is brilliant on the writer's part. The whole first all of like the first 3 episodes was focusing on Ty's repressed anger. And it really, really wasn't delving into Tandy's repressed grief.
Yeah.
It never dealt with her sadness. It was there, but every episode where she was running faster, running harder, she was so pulling BoJack Horseman. She kept trying to move forward, kept moving forward, keep going that way, keep running, don't confront.
Yeah.
And that's really what put this thing over the top for me. The father character, the Asian physicist, was a really important character to this story, because he was the one that was stuck in it in the biggest way, because he was on ground zero and survived, and right. So you could see.
And that's when they actually touch on it, that whole situation was magic. Like, they actually, like, why did the rig explode? He tells them an unnatural energy came out of the rig. It seems to be made of pure living fear and infected the workers and turned them into psychotic killing machines. And he's the only one who's unaffected.
Not that that's foreshadowing or anything.
Yeah. So, the black blood of the earth, the rage of the earth. Wait,
you mean oil?
No, I mean the black blood of the earth.
Oh.
Because the whole time they show the people in the rig going, this doesn't make any sense. Why is everything building? Why is the energy pouring out? There's no problem. This shouldn't be happening. And they're confused. Of course, the system was designed to compensate for this unnatural energy release, but apparently someone at corporate decided they didn't need the conductive heat shielding plates to protect them from, going crazy and exploding.
Yeah. So, cut cost and you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So I had to give this episode, honestly, I gave this episode a full house. I liked it a lot because, it pushed the characters forward. It really, the entire time, this show is called Cloak and Dagger. When are they going to be Cloak and Dagger instead of Cloak? Instead of Cloak and Dagger. There we go. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. When are they going to be Cloak and Dagger?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. And she was closing him off like she closed off to the rest of the world. Understandably so. Because who is he? They met literally less than 2 weeks before any of this stuff started happening. So is she going to open up to him with all of that other stuff? Well, he can see it. He saw the stuff. But that's extraneous circumstances. Okay, so he knows the stuff that's wrong with her. But there still needs to be time to process it on both parts, and then they have to think about coming to terms with it. And one of the things I was digging, and this was the thing that solidified this one trope in my head as being overturned for this show, was that this point in the story, they always answer the will they, won't they. But most of the time in a story, it's they will. And this episode really solidified they won't.
Yeah.
That's not their relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that's really not them. Ty's got an awesome girlfriend. Tandy is a hot mess and shouldn't be dating anyone.
Yeah.
But more to the point, they both need a friend. And neither one of them have been shown to have that.
Yeah.
In the previous 6
Yeah,
episodes.
someone that they can connect with, someone who can share their pain and have a common experience and everything. Plus, also, there's the fact that when they touch, they explode.
Yeah, so that's a definite won't they. Or that's a definitely they won't. But more to the point that I'm pushing out is they both need a friend.
Yeah.
Like, people need platonic relationships. That's why they're there. You need your buddy, you need your bro, you need your sister, just somebody there that there's no sexual tension, but that gets you.
Yeah.
Everybody needs someone that gets them. And this show has shown that they get each other, but they haven't really wanted. It's one of those. One of the things I say in my sermons when I perform weddings is what my great grandmother taught me about friendship, which is a real friend is somebody that knows everything about you and likes you anyway.
Yeah.
And earlier in this episode, they're learning everything about each other, and they hated each other. They could not stand it.
Yeah.
So now this is where they actually start to come to terms with they're forced to work together. They're forced to work together. They don't really like each other. They're running from everything that's big in their lives, and that's got to change, and it's got to change now.
Yeah.
Not a week from now, not you guys have wasted enough time. It's now time to do it right. It's now time to be friends, be partners, because no matter how much you run, you're still going to need that other person.
Yeah.
So Tandy has stopped running, So yeah, that's the whole gig on that. So yeah, this was a full house for me because it showed that on the screen, and it never said it. It never said those words.
Yeah. Just showed it, not say it.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing I liked about it was they brought up the whole magic, because remember in the earlier episode we had the witch and apprentice witch discussing the magical aspects.
Oh yeah.
And giving us a lowdown that no, this has been going on for a very, very long time. And that and then we also first learned that there's some kind of power underneath New Orleans that fuels all this stuff. And now we learn is like, because the episode starts off with the dad teasing the daughter that she's casting a spell by making her good luck cookie.
Who'd have thunk?
Because she's got to cook it in her easy bake oven, and she's got the recipe for her dad, and he's like, he goes to eat it, and she goes,
ritual.
Yeah, ritual. He even says it's a
no,
ritual.
keep talking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
You're hearing.
He's like,
somewhere?
yeah, he's like, you have to eat it at work because that's how it works. If you eat the cookie on the rig, you always come home. It's always worked before.
Mm-hmm.
And he teases her about being a scientist but still having a superstitious ritual, and she's like, just take the cookie.
Yeah, right.
And yet
it's like, well, you're being superstitious. Yeah, and it ain't what you see any elephants around here? This is my elephant repellent. No elephants have come down here. But you're in New Orleans. So?
And then the rig is destroyed by an upwelling of dark magic, and he
came home.
He's the only survivor because he had the cookie. And then later on, when he's trapped in this dark magic fueled vegetative state,
he's eating the cookies.
The cookie is the thing that drags him out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, her spell worked, kept him safe, and eventually, with the help of Tandy and Ty, brought him home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So again, kudos to the writers on that one. Yeah. So for those of you guys just joining us, we're talking about Cloak and Dagger, Season 1, Episode 7, The Lotus Eaters.
And in case you hadn't noticed, we're pointing out that whatever this black blood of the earth is, when it comes in contact with...
Wait, you mean oil?
No, black blood of the earth.
Oh, okay.
Comes in contact with people, it turns them into rage-filled psychos, basically rage zombies. But didn't they just say that they've put vents to release this stuff all over the entire city.
Yeah, you caught that, huh?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't loose the crazy zombie gas in all of New Orleans.
Or maybe we should, because it would make Mardi Gras awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was Cloak and Dagger. Now let's talk about the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. First off, I have to give a formal apology, okay? Because I didn't do last week's episode justice. All right, there was a lot that happened. It was subtle, and then it wasn't, and I didn't give a good synopsis. So I really buckled down and got on my game this week. But last week's episode, just really quick synopsis. A few things happened. Karen killed a dude, and Foggy was like, "Yeah, but you're a good person." And she's like, "Am I though?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're a good person. It was self-defense. You didn't have a choice." And she's like, "But I shot him 7 times."
Yeah.
Am I a good person? Because I really wanted him dead. And,
Yeah, I guess so. Self-defense is 3, maybe 4. When you stop, reload, that's it.
Yeah. So I rewatched it again this morning, and I'm like, I didn't notice that last time, but yeah. Is she though? So there was that. And the conversations between Kingpin and Dexter was really, really deep. It was everything George Lucas was trying with Star Wars Episode 3 and failing. Just failing.
Yeah. Come to the dark side, the manipulations.
Oh, my God, yeah. A lot of it happened in voiceover, and after he manipulated the situation to get Dexter talking to the girl that he had a thing for back when he was on the suicide prevention hotline, funny scene, and he blew the date in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
Pro tip: if she says "let go," you've blown the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really that simple. And if she says it 3 times, burn her number, leave town, because you've totally screwed it up and you don't belong in the dating pool without therapy and a lot of classes. So yeah, and but this episode does something. That episode did something else, which was Kingpin ended up calling in an anonymous tip, causing Dexter to look really bad in front of the FBI. And that anonymous tip was to the press. So we smeared him in the press, and the FBI pretty much says, "We're going to have to put you on paid leave because we can't have it. Looks really bad that you're now suspected of helping out the mastermind that we're looking over, and you're like the guy that's right next to him. So if you look like you're in collusion, we can't have you come and work." And he's like, "But I need this job because it's the only thing keeping me from killing lots of people." And,
yeah. I need focus. I need something to do. Otherwise, the crazy.
And that was when Kingpin gave Dex a Daredevil suit and said, "Nobody gets you like I do. I know you're a killer. I know you're a sociopath. And I accept that. But nobody else will. Not the girl you loved. Not your coworkers. So I've got a present for you."
So in a way, Fisk is his psycho friend.
Yeah, very much so. And so he gives him the Daredevil thing, and that gave us the massacre of the end of last week's episode.
I watched that fight because you sent me.
I did.
You sent me a link to that fight, and I watched it, and my thought was, "This is not fair. This is not fair. It's Bullseye versus Daredevil in an office. Basically, Bullseye just has unlimited ammunition."
Yeah.
It was painful to watch Bullseye just taking Daredevil down with pencils and bottle caps and
you
snow
say
globes.
Disheartening, I say awesome. Let's
all while dressed as Daredevil the whole time in the back. This is not fair.
No, it wasn't. Let's take a quick look at at the fight here.
Okay.
Just a couple of highlights. The fight's 3 minutes long, y'all, so I'm not going to show the whole thing. But, we all know Daredevil is like cool ninja guy and all that stuff.
And hint, in case you're new to this, the guy dressed as Daredevil is not Daredevil. That's
No.
Bullseye pretending to be Daredevil.
But he hasn't been named Bullseye yet.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So let's go.
let's take a look at some
Because
highlights from this fight.
I been in a confusion when I first saw. I was like, wait, what? Who? What? And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Got to do some quick sound stuff here.
Ah.
Yeah.
But although
Oh.
yeah, Daredevil's,
That was silly.
Daredevil's powers are, man, they're broken awesome.
Well, let's
'Cause
face it. Daredevil
He
is
can walk through a grocery store and take out an army.
sorta. Yeah. I mean, Daredevil he's a blind man who has the superpower of sight.
Yeah, I'm kind of like it. Really advantageous if you're in a back alley where he can't see you, or an open field where he has not unlimited ammunition.
Yeah.
But in a moderately well lit office building.
Well, let's take a look now. Yeah,
Okay.
let's take a quick look. So dark. It's like it's from the DC universe. He's like, aha, I've got you in close quarters. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at the close quarters combat. Oh. Yep. And again, good fight choreography. I'm very happy that it's not in the hallway.
It's not a hallway.
But then comes this. It's like, oh god, my nose. Oh, my-
So I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing stupid melee stuff? I use
Yeah.
my powers and just proceeds to just trash poor Daredevil.
Yeah, and see that point was when the fight turned. I liked the that part of the fight. I really liked that he bounced the billy club off of the floor and hit him in the face. Because how do you duck that? It's like, oh yeah, well oh god, that hurts. But the most brutal thing that I saw him do in that fight was run to tackle Daredevil, grab his upper body, and then slide under the desk. I mean, I'm just like, I never thought about doing that. That was, I mean, yeah, let's take another look at this real quick. Just, wait. Haha, it's on YouTube, so I shouldn't be getting flagged on this one. So, wait a second. No, here. Oh, my face. Oh, my face.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
hurt.
that's what.
But,
There's
yeah.
The other thing I was thinking when I was watching this fight, I was like, because looking at the Daredevil suit's kind of chunky.
Yeah.
It's got some thickness to it, and I'm watching the actual choreographed combat, and I'm thinking, oh, actually having the suit with a little bit of padding, that would be good, because if you're mostly a hand-to-hand guy, having that extra bit of protection
helps.
would help a lot. That's the difference between a deep bruise and just I need some Epsom salts tonight.
Well,
kind of thing.
a lot of people forget that the reason boxers wear gloves is not to protect the person who's punched.
Yeah.
It's to keep knuckles from being broken, y'all.
Yeah.
Just say.
That fight scene, I was like, oh, that's not good.
Well,
because Daredevil, for his power to advantageous, is like, oh well, perfect darkness. Then you're screwed.
yeah.
But
then,
because in gaming terms, that -5 blind finding penalty, kind of screws you over.
and then, comedy. Okay, I'm just gonna grab this thing. God damn it! Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fighting with an X-Acto knife, and he gets taken out with a paperclip.
All right, where is this guy? All right, I'm gonna just grab this whole thing and monitor. Oh, this is not good, man. This is okay. All right, let's go over here. All right, moving.
Yeah, that's why I said
Okay.
this fight is not fair, because literally anything in this room is a lethal object in the hands of Bullseye.
And then we've got. Hey, I auditioned for Daredevil, and I got this. What's this thing over here? Hey, somebody keeps a baseball. Boink. Oh, damn it! Ow! I mean, everything that's happening, he's just like, I'm just gonna sneak up there and bank shot. God in my face. I'm gonna grab this X-Acto knife. Put that down. Jeez, And okay, so he goes to the other side. Oh, damn, stapler. He's like, all right, how about that? Distraction. All right. But yeah. So all that stuff happened in last week's episode, and Bullseye he's going there to kill the witness that they're trying to turn into the to the FBI, and he kills him. He kills it, like puts a bullet in his skull, brains across the whole thing, and that episode was called "The Devil You Know," because imposter type thing, based on the Frank Miller Born Again story arc from Marvel back from 1993. Now, the next episode, the one that we're actually talking about this week, is aptly named Aftermath.
Yeah.
And it deals directly with all of the consequences of the previous episode.
Yeah, because bad things happened.
Yeah. So let's take a look. A quick synopsis of the episode. After the aftermath of the massacre at the newspaper, Fisk pushes his lawyer to find the painting that he bought for Vanessa, the big white one back from season 1. It's then revealed that Fisk has a secret bunker. He's got a secret bunker in his bedroom where he's got somebody that lives there full time. And we then find out that he's monitoring all the FBI agents that monitor him.
Huh.
Who watches The Watchmen? Fisk does. Now Matt, bleeding from multiple stab wounds from the massacre at the newspaper, talks to Sister Maggie back of the church about how he got his butt handed to him, and how the people that died are on him because Daredevil is nothing if it's not revolving around Catholic guilt. No, seriously, that is the.
So let me get this straight. His superpowers are, he can see, and he has guilt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously. And then, Maggie, the nun that's been taking care of him pretty much for most of his life, is like, yeah, let me get you patched up. You're right. You are guilty about a lot of things, and things could have gone differently, yada, yada, yada. And it was kind of my fault because, oops, you got friends, but whatever. And she's like, can I give you stitches now? And he's like, oh, no, I'm terrible. I hit myself with rope. Like Jared Leto between scenes and anything he films. And she's like, he's got a Daredevil suit that's a lot like yours. How good was it? And he's like, it was perfect. And she's like, well, I know he didn't buy it from Sears.
Yeah.
And
where he had the suit.
So Foggy Foggy and Karen, in the meantime, are being questioned by the FBI because they were there. And at the end of the massacre, Daredevil, said in air quotes for those of you guys listening, walks up to Karen and says, "Hello, Miss Page. It's very good to see you again." And the FBI is like, why does he know your name? So sure enough, they're getting questioned by the FBI, and Karen's like, it wasn't the devil that wasn't him. It must be an imposter. And they're like, how do you know? And she's like, oh wow, look at my shoes. I got really nice shoes. I gotta not give the impression that I know the secret identity of this superhero. And of course, the FBI is mad because during that massacre, they were supposed to be getting the witness that stabbed Fisk, and Matt Murdock was supposed to be turning himself into the FBI to exonerate himself for other charges. So now everybody's dead, and they still don't have Matt Murdock, and Agent Nassim is like, WTF, over. Did you set this up? Do you know Daredevil? Why is it that every time you get involved in anything like that, people die? Hang on, my wife is calling. And,
yeah, when the body count starts getting up there, they start going, yeah, it's kind of funny. How come every time you're involved, Daredevil shows up and everyone dies? Yeah, no, there's no.
Yeah,
no.
So Matt then goes to see Melvin, the big special needs dude that made the Daredevil suit originally, and the one that made Wilson Fisk's bulletproof and knife-proof suit. And I gotta say, Fisk, that dude has style. Because all the other people, it's like, I want a superhero outfit, it's got to be skin tight, kind of look like motorcycle gear and all that stuff. Fisk is like, I would like an Armani cut with 2 buttons in the front, and I need a vest, but I want to make sure that no knives can get through it. And Melvin, that guy, always talking about Betsy. I can't do it, I can't put Betsy in danger, and Betsy wouldn't like that, all through season 1. And Matt goes to Melvin to go like, all right, this dude was wearing one of my suits. I know he didn't buy it at Sears. And so sure enough, he goes in and he finds out that Betsy is Melvin's girlfriend / parole officer. And that's why he's kind of going, I can't get her in trouble. She wouldn't like this, all that other stuff. And they actually have a genuine, good, and loving relationship.
Okay.
But this being Daredevil, that's going down the tube soon. And of course, he guilts Melvin about the new suit. And Melvin's like, well, I can make you another one. And he's like, where's the workshop? And he's like, no, Fisk burned it down. Fisk made me do it because he threatened me and Betsy and all that stuff. So he takes Daredevil to the new warehouse, and there's another Daredevil suit sitting there. And he's like, is that the suit? No, he had me make two. Well, why? Meanwhile, we go to Agent Nadeem. And Agent Nadeem...
Because you need to be caught with one, because that's the plan.
Shh, spoilers.
Sorry, I just saw that coming.
Yeah. So Agent Nadeem is on the phone with his mom, or with his wife, saying, no, honey, I was fine. I didn't show up to the massacre until everything was done and everybody was dead. Lies. So don't worry about me, baby. Everything is good, baby. And then he finds out that the work that he's put in with Fisk gets him the promotion that he was looking for in the beginning of the show. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Wait, I got a promotion? And it's like, what's going on? What, if you're not here for the promotion, what's the whole thing? Well, it turns out Karen actually talked about the whole thing. So he did some investigation, and that witness that was supposed to happen in that one, he was supposed to he was supposed to be in prison. Fisk got him out of prison. That's when Nadeem started going, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't, not cool, because that guy was supposed to be in solitary confinement for a year for stabbing Wilson Fisk. Why is he out on the street? Why were we picking him up at the newspaper? And sure enough, this guy, again, talks to the warden, and the warden's like, maybe it was paperwork. I do not know, but I believe I should talk to my lawyer. And so Nadeem goes to a paper pusher. Essentially, he goes to the bulletin reporter and finds out that, the dude was released and all that stuff. And sure enough, he finds all this out, reports it to his guy, and then his supervisor is like, well, I got to get the boss on the phone. I got to get this up the chain. He's like, hold on. Good to know I got a promotion, but it's going to look really bad for everybody, so give me a couple of days on that and let me dig on this a little further. Okay. Because I don't want to blow the thing that I just did, and all that stuff.
You don't want to blow the deal, and they already have one problem with optics being on the
for
press.
Those of you guys watching, that was another inch.
Yeah.
It was like, I know the truth, but let me cover it up real quick to, all that other stuff.
Yeah. Because
corruption isn't just, okay, I choose you, just like Anakin in episode 3. I've got that on my mind a lot today. So, in the meantime, Foggy. Foggy proposes to his girlfriend because Foggy, that fight that happened between Daredevil and stuff happened because Bullseye was doing the whole thing, and he was pretty much ready to kill Foggy. Matt saved his life, and Foggy was like, I'm so dead. Oh my God. Let the PTSD begin. And, then he gets home, he proposes to his girlfriend, and as much as we all hated Foggy's girlfriend in the first season, she proves to be the most awesome character ever.
How?
He's like, I thought I was going to die, blah, blah, blah. It turned me to showing what's important. Marry me. And she's like, Foggy, no. When you ask me this, I want it to be from your heart, not because of trauma. Just get your head together. I got to go to court. I was worried about you, like, oh, get out. But you're only proposing because you're in shock. So let's take this a bit slowly, okay? Yeah. And I'm like, thank you so hard. And then Foggy sees like a piece of paperwork, and he's like, what does this paperwork say? It got knocked over when I was having sex with my girlfriend. And he reads the paperwork, and he goes weird. Now, Karen goes to the hospital to see her boss. Okay. And her boss, who was hurt during the massacre, is like, don't beat yourself up. Stop guilting yourself. When you're a reporter and you're digging for the truth, this stuff happens when you're on the path to finding it. And but what I will need is everything that you know about Daredevil so I can do the report. And she's like, it wasn't Daredevil, it was an imposter. And the reporter's like, really? So do you know who Daredevil is?
I have really nice shoes.
And she's like,
nice shoes. Oh.
I can't tell you. And he's like, you know what? He had really, really, really great scene on that because he's in the hospital. He is busted up. Okay, I mean he's going to be in the hospital for a little while, and you know, there's Karen kind of doing the I'm looking for absolution, but not quite absolution. And you know, that kind of thing comes out, and his wife is mad. You know, his wife is mad because it was like, you know, you did this, now he's in the hospital, and he's like, it's just part of the job. So yeah, and I can't do the scene justice, so we're just gonna see a little bit of it right here. Let's take a look here.
Okay.
You've got to tell me right now.
I can't do.
Some piece of shit attacked my people in my house.
And if you know anything that will get me closer to finding out who he is, then goddamn it, you are going to tell me.
Or you can go clean out your desk.
Yeah.
That is exactly the right thing to say. I know it sounds like I'm taking sides here, but you know, dealing with her has gotten him beaten up a few times and got one of his star reporters killed. But this time, he lost like 6 people that work at the newspaper to the attack, and now he's in the hospital. And she's like, "Well, and he's like, you know who did it?"
Yeah, like no.
Like there are lines, you know, there are lines, and no. So, and again, serious props to Deborah Ann Wall in this show. Cause
I realize you might not feel comfortable sharing this information with me, but we've gone to war, and you are going to tell me this, or you are gone.
Yeah.
And by saying you are gone, that's actually a kindness for all the history you have to us, because, you know, otherwise you would not just be gone. I would be lumping you in with the enemy and burning you too.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
That is absolutely it.
Yeah.
So after that, we got Daredevil and Melvin go into the second shop where the new suit is. And Melvin's like, I'm sorry, but I got to lock you in here. He's going to kill me and Betsy, because you were absolutely right. That was the setup.
Yeah. When she said Fisk had me make 2 suits, I'm like, ugh.
Yep.
Like,
so,
is this a trap? This is a trap. Okay, let's go spring the trap.
Yeah, you got Akbar all over the screen. And sure enough, man, we get the fight scene of the episode because, well, the 2 fight scenes, because of course Melvin and Daredevil, they have to do the fight. Melvin's like, I gotta do it to protect Betsy, because it's the woman I love versus you crazy person that wears a bunch of mask stuff that goes around beating people up. Sorry, I love her. We ain't even had coffee. And you know,
can't fault Melvin for, you know,
really
like, choosing to my girlfriend and the psychopath who's threatened to kill me to protect another psychopath.
Yeah, so they have the fight, and Daredevil like subdues him, and he's like, "Look, I hear footsteps coming." It's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to be caught with the suit, but I can't be here. I can't be here because, you know, it'll get Betsy in trouble. It'll get me. It would get me sent back, and too late because there's already a crash team coming."
Yep.
You know, so we get the second fight: Melvin and Daredevil versus the FBI. Yeah. And it ends exactly the way it was supposed to end. They arrest Melvin, and Daredevil slips out the back. And, you know, and again, that's a really big thing. In the meantime, Nadeem confronts Fisk about all the manipulation. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I know you did this and all that other stuff. And Fisk replies in one of the most baller fashions. And I mean that. Like total baller. Yeah, it was, you know, Nadeem is like, he tells a story about the drug dealer that was on the block that would help out everybody. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, yeah, there was there was one moment, or there was a drug dealer or a dude on my block, and he helped everybody out. But like, there was a woman that needed a car, he got her a car. There was somebody that was late on their rent, he paid their rent. But you know who got arrested when the cops went to find? Yeah, they found like 4 keys of heroin in the baby's room of the house that he gave the lady, and 10 keys of heroin in the trunk of the car that he gave the older lady. And you're a lot like that person. And Fisk replies, well, I don't know if anyone has ever led you on, with the, anyone let you on like you thinking you're going to get into a relationship, but that's not what they want from you. And that's how Kingpin kind of replies.
Uncle Vanny Sedan. Another 5 in the Hoffman baby's room.
Yeah.
Guess who the cops arrested when they tracked down that powder?
And he's looking at him. He's just like, okay, I know this story is going somewhere. And so sure enough, Fisk is like, I'm just doing the thing. I'm just, and the scene opens, of course. With him walking in there, and he's like, oh, Agent Nadim, shouldn't you be home with your wife? What was her name again? And Nadim is like, you say her name one more time, see what happens. Like, I'm on to you. I am done. And sure enough, we got him. He straight out asked the question. You let Jesper Evans out of prison to pay him back for shanking you, didn't you? And Kingpin, cool as a cucumber. Your desperation diminishes you. Oh, wait. I gotta take that back just a minute. Just a sec. Yeah, there. And he's like, yeah.
Jiggy. This. All of this.
Like, all of this. The house arrest, all my art, all my stuff.
This was my price.
This was my
which
price.
I was plain about at the start of our relationship. And you have paid it.
And he's just looking at him like, huh? And he's like, you knew what this was. You knew what this was when we started. And you went with it anyway. And Nadim just has that sad look on his face like, but I would, and he's, yeah. So, of course, Nadim, trying to keep some power in the conversation,
I need to
ask
know.
the question. He just asked the question flat out.
Right now. You let Jasper Evans out of prison to pay him back for shanking you?
And Kingpin replies the best thing ever.
Desperation diminishes you, Special Agent. Good night.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've had this look on my face after many breakups. Like, but what happened? What? I thought we were doing good.
I'm done with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole, it was fun. We had a great night. I enjoyed myself. You enjoyed yourself. No, don't call me no more.
Yeah.
And he's sitting up like, but I. Yep, no, that's all it was. That's all it was. And meanwhile, Matt is having more guilt hallucinations, and all of his hallucinations are Fisk's talking crap at him. He's like, he pretty much pulled the Joker from Dark Knight, saying, yeah, you're really one heck of a hero letting a dude on the spectrum get arrested while you got away, and he got arrested for being under suspicion of what the cops want you for, and you didn't say anything. Wow, you're a hero. And you're not smart enough to beat, you're not smart enough to beat me. You're not strong enough to beat this other guy that's pretending to be you. You were just totally useless. And so Daredevil goes to Betsy, the PO, and says, okay, so Melvin got arrested. Sorry, FBI's got him, nothing you can do. But here's the thing. He made his choices, and he's screwed. And it was all set up by Fisk. Fisk doesn't leave loose ends. And you should go now. Change your name, leave the city, get out of here. You can't help Melvin. And honestly, he's probably going to die in prison, and Kingpin's going to be looking for people to kill you too. And she's like, you mother... He told me about you. He said you were a hero. You're a dick. And he's like, he made his choices.
Like, hey, I gave you a heads up.
Yeah.
Warn you. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, after that, Nadim, well, Karen does exactly what you think she should do. After watching so many people die, after all of her friends doing all that stuff, she did exactly what a reasonable person would do at that point.
Okay.
She called her daddy. She was like, Daddy, can I come home? It sucks here in New York. And her dad's like, oh, pumpkin, no. No, you can't come home. You know, you screwed that up a long time ago, but I love you. And she's like, but it's hard. He's like, yeah, welcome to the real world, jackass. And that's pretty much about it. So after that breakup, Nadine starts looking seriously into the
So
investigation.
sorry, the way you're describing it, I'm just thinking of the Simpsons haunted treehouse. Mom, the crazy cafeteria lady is trying to kill us and cook us. You just go back to her and you tell her, don't eat me. I'm like, but Mom, she's trying to murder us. You have to learn to stand up to yourself. People are dead. The guy who's tried to kill me 3 times is trying to kill me a 4th time. Yo, just suck it up and walk it off, Cupcake.
Well, it was very much like, oh, we heard about them. Isn't that where you work, honey? She's like, yeah, I was wondering if I could just come home for a little while. Yeah, you know what? No, because isn't this like the 3rd time you got caught up in people trying to kill you? I love you, but I just don't want you bringing that to my house. You know, and
maybe it's time to think about changing careers. I'm just saying. You know.
Yeah, sheep herding is an honorable profession. And something that you can't easily do in New York. Maybe you should leave New York and be a sheep herder. You can read a lot. You like reading. So Nadim launches an investigation.
Of course, this is the Marvel Universe. There's a great job working in reverse engineering alien technology. Nothing bad could ever happen there.
Yeah, just got to go to Queens, you know. And sure enough, or maybe you can go to New Orleans, you know.
Yeah,
that place is calm.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, Nadim launches the investigation, looking into everything about the fist stabbing, and the people on the phone are like, "Nope, sorry, don't have those tapes." Blah, 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 blah. And so Nadim goes home to a surprise party from his family. Congratulations on your promotion, Daddy! Yay! And he has a fantastic conversation with his wife. Because his wife is like, yeah, you got all this stuff. Mom, there's no soda. Oh, there's some in the basement. I'll send your dad to go get it. Honey, could you come here and help me get some more drinks? Yeah, all right, cool. Anybody watching? Yeah, you don't ever lie to me. You know, we made a deal, and that deal was you don't lie. And he's like, what do you mean you did? I know you were there, and I have covered for you. I've had your back on everything because we are partners. And then you act like I'm stupid. I never said you were stupid. You said that I was stupid the moment you lied to me.
Oh.
Don't lie to me. And he's like, I'm sorry, baby. What can I do to make it right? She can you can start by telling me what the hell's going on. I made some mistakes. I tried covering up. Cool. Don't lie to me anymore. Now go get those sodas. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes, because it is. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm Southern or something, but it is the responsibility of every spouse to slap you on the back of the neck and say, hey, quit screwing up every once in a while. You know, it really is. And, oh, she did it. And she did it. And it wasn't like guilt or anything. It was, I'm not going to cause a scene. I'm not going to do any of this stuff. But, yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, let's take a look at that scene if we can real quick. Yeah. Oh no, not that one. That's an important part of the climax there. But yeah,
Copies.
but yeah, they have that moment, and it was amazing. It was great, because yeah, she has a great moment, and he's like, oh, that's great. That's I've got all that. You know, I've got a loving family. You know, and again, yeah, let's take a look here.
Denise, I called you afraid for your life, and you lied. I have to hear from Annie Wellers what really happened. That murderer attacked you and shot him.
Seems
I have
like-
to hear from her.
I didn't want you to worry.
Well, I am worried.
Yeah, I didn't want you to
Worry
worry.
job is
Wrong
doing to you.
play.
To us,
What's that supposed to mean?
I will always have your back. To them, to everyone. But I am not an idiot.
I didn't
I
say
never
you
said
were.
you were
When
an
you
idiot.
lie to my
lie to my
face, you
face,
do.
you tell me I'm an idiot. Oh man. So yeah, and you know, again, I love the look on his face. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
He's
So-
having a bad day. He's having a bad day.
He's having a bad season, dude. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you know, dumped by a side piece, bitched out by his girlfriend or by his wife. It's just he ain't in a good spot. So yeah, let this be a lesson. Always, well, be honest. Always, anyway, but especially be honest and upfront with your partner. Seriously, because that's real. You know. And the final scene is, you know, he goes and gets the drinks out the fridge, and he's like, "This is weird. Is somebody out here in my garage with me? Like, huh? Like, yeah. Is somebody out here with me? Because I don't, you know, it's this seems a little weird." And that's one door, and another door's open, and sure enough, it's Daredevil. He's like, "Wait, what's happening? What is this? What? I don't. Nope. Dude, hey, dude. Look, I'm not here to mess you up." That's right. And so they then have a talk. Like, I know you just got dumped. Well, I don't know you just got dumped by Fisk, but Fisk is gonna dump you, man. And you're my woman now. You know, it's yeah, I have a whole lot of information, all that stuff. How do I know it wasn't you? I know it was an imposter. I know you got played by Fisk because he plays everybody. People are going to die, and I'm just trying to put him back in jail. And he's like, just let's pretend that I believe you. What do you got? That the imposter's an FBI agent? Go on. And the episode ends. So, this one I had to give a solid Full House to for one reason. Consequences. This entire episode is nothing but the consequences of everything that happened in the previous. So if this was in regular syndication, it would be a two-parter. You know, the first part being, you know, Karen, I'm a bad person. Foggy, you're not a bad person. Karen, I shot him 7 times, but you're not a bad person. Aren't I? Aren't I a bad person? You know, and then move the script down a little bit, and, you know, and Karen going, I got more people hurt and I'm still not ratting out Matt. And Foggy, but you're a good person. But Karen, am I?
Yeah.
You know, which I gotta say, one, Deborah Ann Wall, amazing in this part. Between her and the writers, I like the Karen Page character now. Because growing up, I hated her. I hated her so hard because Frank Miller can't write women, let alone he can't write them likable. But in this one, she's seriously like, this has got to be a hard role to play because I know what a puffy face from Tears looks like, and I know what it looks like under makeup. So she cries a lot for this role. And but yeah, and she keeps asking that question of, you know, stop, why is it so important to you that I'm a good person? Because I'm not doing good things. And just that concept, that struggle between those two. Those two concepts really hits me because I don't know why. I got a lot of white friends and they keep going, you're a good person. I'm a good person. All these people are good people. And I'm always going, yeah, but they do bad things. You know, I'm not concerned about the quality of a person's character as much as I am concerned about the impacts of their behavior. And when a person behaves badly and causes pain, it doesn't matter if they're a good person until the pain is stopped and recovery starts. You know, it's, you know, oh my God, I ran you over with my car, but I'm a good person. My neck, my back, my neck. Oh, great. You're a great person. That makes my neck and my back less broken. you know?
Yeah.
And, so Karen actually questioning her actions. Like, I'm getting a lot of people hurt and I shot a dude 7 times. But you're a good person. Would a good person shoot someone 7 times?
Yeah.
Self-defense.
Not
7 times?
Yeah, not 7 times.
Yeah.
You're like, after 2, definitely 2 is a question. 5, no.
Yeah, exactly. So just that introspection really kicks up last week's episode to a higher rating. But this one, all consequences. It really was like, a lot of people are dead because of you, and you have information to keep more people from getting hurt. But I can't give it to you. Then I don't want to talk to you right now. I need a break. And, okay, I've been doing really bad things, but I've caught a lot of bad guys. And if it turns out that Fisk has been playing us, then all those bad guys that we caught go back out on the street because all the evidence that we used to convict them will no longer be admissible. Mm-hmm. And the whole time, Kingpin is like, yeah, I know. I set this whole thing up. And your choice is keep me out and let me run this city, or put me back in and fight everybody in the world. Oh, and be exposed for the corruption that I tricked you into, and your bosses into, and the prison system into. So if Fisk goes down, the prison system, that prison goes down. It loses its warden and all of the prison guards. Agent Nadim definitely goes down. His boss goes down for Nadim doing all that stuff on her watch.
Yeah. Here's my problem. They're not good people.
Foggy is.
How many people has he shot?
Foggy Nelson?
Yeah.
None.
Okay, then he's on the good person. How many criminals has he put back onto the street?
None.
Okay, then he counts as a good person. But that
Matter of
warden,
fact,
it's like they'll take down the warden. Oh, you mean take down the corruption and put people who aren't corrupt and morally bankrupt in that position? Okay.
well, the question is, will the city survive the interim?
Oh God, no. But, so yeah, you're absolutely right. But will the city? So okay. What's better? Keeping the tapeworm or dealing with the emergency surgery?
Well, it's more like keeping the tapeworm or burning the tapeworm out of the person. That's the question.
Yeah.
So that's a hard conundrum.
Yeah. The problem is that Fisk is a very well written character because he makes me very angry. I get genuinely angry at him. It's just
How so?
Because he's untouchable.
Okay.
There's nothing you can do. I've set this situation up. You are completely impotent. And it's all your own fault. And I'm kind of sitting there going, you know what, buddy? You know what? You're right. You played me. And you've made me look at myself and realize I am morally responsible for everything that's happened and, by extension, all the evil that you do. So I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to have a drink of your very expensive scotch. Second, I'm going to shoot you in the tracking bracelet. Minor flesh wound to you, but more importantly, breaking your parole because you're no longer translating, and then burn all your shit and leave. You go down. I'm like, yes, and I will go on stand and explain how I helped the warden let you out and cop to all the and point you will destroy. Yes, you're part of burn all your shit. Did you not understand?
Well, the whole thing is that's what Daredevil is trying to do. That's everything Matt is trying to do. But Kingpin's in deep. Like
and unfortunately, to take Kingpin out, you have to take out the entire city, and everyone's, you can't do that. No, yeah, you're right. You can't do that, but you can't leave it as it stands. So we'll just try to take out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And
at that point, I just want to stand on the rooftop and go, "You are all terrible people."
It's like you're taking crazy pills.
You want is the hero you deserve.
Seriously. Yeah. That's always been.
Seriously, can you guys go 2 days without making a morally reprehensible and corrupt decision?
No. And the reason for this is that Daredevil, from his inception, has always been the grittier side to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man, again, driven by guilt, but still is like, I'm going to do the right thing and I'm going to do all this stuff. And the people that are around that actually work with me want to do good and they're good people and all that stuff. And Daredevil's like, Queens must be a nice neighborhood. I live in Hell's Kitchen. Not just hell, but the place in hell where everyone goes during parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean this is, and again, all these consequences, and this is the part where everyone figures out that they're being played, except Foggy, because he's been going, he's playing you. I don't know how, but he's doing it because that's what he does. And Foggy goes through, the one part about this episode that I didn't talk about was Foggy goes through, and the next time we see him, he's surrounded in paperwork and it's all on the floor like a crazy person in an office, and he's like, I think I know what Fisk is doing. And that's all they talk about on that episode. So tune in next week to see what Foggy discovers type thing.
Oh, so he does the crazy string murder wall thing and ties all the things together.
Yes, and Karen has to now make a couple of other
Sorry,
decisions too.
I'm instantly picturing that being recapped by the guy from Ant-Man and Wasp.
Which one? Oh God, the
He's
security
like,
guy.
Yeah, the Latino security guy. So check it. So I was, just Foggy laying it out, this whole convoluted stream of consciousness, completely like, but in the end, it's like, oh no, all the pieces line up.
Yeah, I watched that a couple of days ago, and I gotta say, Ant-Man, in my opinion, is the most fun of the Marvel Universe, especially since it, those writers and those special effects people really show how terrifying the idea of changing your size is quickly.
Yeah.
Because those fights, man, those fight scenes are great. And as much as I hate his character because I hate comic relief, he had one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Which is?
That's a cool suit. I kind of like a suit like that. Like minimal powers. Like it doesn't even have to have powers. I just kind of, could I get one of those suits?
Yeah, it's a really cool suit.
And I'm just kind of going, you know what? Yeah. I think about that when I think about Captain America, because I'm like, that's a cool suit.
Yeah, I was watching the featurette, and the costume guy was slightly annoyed because he's like, yeah, so this suit comes about because someone at Marvel made the joke that the color is silver gold. Yeah, the color of Wasp's suit is silver gold. So they had to come up with a gold color that reflected silver highlights. Like each piece of her suit is 9 layers thick of material to get that look.
Jeez.
Yeah, like the costume that they built is insane.
That's why it's $100,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, so honestly, yeah, I had to give this episode of Daredevil, like it really got a full house from me, because it doesn't stand on its own. I'm going to say that. What it does is it supports another episode that was good, making that episode better. Like I said, the episode before this one and this episode practically come out to a motion picture. And I like to see that every once in a while. I think every show needs a good 2-parter here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I sit.
How many more episodes do we have on this season for Daredevil? 3?
Let me check. Let me double check. And no. These shows don't end up being anything like that. Yeah, there's 13 episodes.
Oh, okay.
In
So
Daredevil.
there's quite a bit before the
Yeah.
eventual climax.
Yeah, but there's only 10 episodes of Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, 13 episodes of Daredevil. So that's a thing. So yeah, but with that, I gotta say, like, it's a thing. It's really a thing. But guess what?
What?
We've been here for almost 2 hours.
Oh wow.
I'm still trying to tighten up this show. It's just, next time I pick a show for you guys, help me out and pick one that ain't so dense with storytelling. Oh my God, I forgot. April is coming.
April? What's in April?
Game of Thrones. My question
I've only
is,
seen one episode of it.
really?
Yeah. I don't have HBO.
Oh. But doesn't one of our friends have like all the DVDs?
No.
I believe they do.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, we might have to get you in on that one.
I mean, the most I know about the Game of Thrones is from the South Park episode.
Oh. No, but the dragons do get there, and it is awesome.
They finally do show up. Okay.
Yeah, they get there, and it's awesome, and it gets even more awesome. So yeah, I may Clockwork Orange you and get you caught up with the past 7 seasons, because the final season of the show starts in April.
Okay.
Final season.
I actually never finished the first book. I got about 2/3 of the way through and started getting angry and stopped reading.
Good. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. And that's exactly it. Now, let me guess. You got angry at the main character going, "No, that's stupid. That you don't know politics." Was that it?
I can't. It was the stuff with the dogs. And,
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
like,
Yeah.
Her,
Yeah.
Her like the baby dying, and then the whole. And I'm just like, maybe I did finally finish the book, but I wasn't happy with it because everybody. I was just angry at everybody. I'm like, oh.
That's why the first book ends with the dragons hatching. Because you're kind of going, oh, yeah. Okay, this just got interesting. You can actually hear Martin Lawrence going, oh, shit just got real, you know? And yeah, so, yeah, but thank you for showing up. Going to give a special bit of thanks to our friends over in NP City. You know, they're a little quiet today because it's Monday, and I totally understand that. But, you know, thank you guys for showing up and sticking out with this episode because, again, this is actually one of my favorite shows to do because I just like talking to people. But I am going to say, oh, wow. This ain't the Oscars. Stop playing me out. Jeez. You know, yeah. Happy Super Bowl Monday. You know, this is the day where everybody says what the Rams should have done. And, but I am going to say, thank you guys for showing up. And please, you know, start sending emails and all that stuff to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINDRINTHEDECK@gmail.com. You can also check out our stuff over on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. I already did like the 20-minute intro on the beginning. Please, if you guys want to check out the stuff that we're building and a lot of the conversations that we have, like all of the angry stuff that the henchman's going to be posting on Deckers on the Book after watching Game of Thrones for the first time, you have to join Deckers on the Book to see that. And of course, thank you guys for showing up. And as of like Wednesday this week, the SoundCloud bill is going to be paid, and we're going to have that back up so you guys can download the archive and do the stuff like hanging out with us when you're sitting in your car, especially if you're stuck in the rain and snow. Stay up, Midwest. And of course, follow us on the Instagram at Back in the Deck. Now, for those of you guys that really want to help us out, and I would appreciate it, please join our Patreon. Okay, for as little as $1 a month, you get access to all of our stuff. And this is what we're doing now, and for the foreseeable future, until I figure out how to make backinthedeck.com even more awesome for everyone else. But in the meantime, yeah, this is the stuff we're doing. Join our Patreon, and for as little as 3 cents a day, 3 cents, 3 pennies. You know those things that were in your pocket 20 minutes ago, and then you got in your car, and they're not there anymore. For that price, you can actually help us keep the lights on in here, which is really important. And you have access to like our archives and our old episodes and checking out a lot of the stuff. Even if you go there right now, because I'm not logged in over here, so what you're looking at is a whole bunch of stuff that's free that's up there. So I'm looking out for everybody. And again, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching this stuff with us. And I just want to say this has been really, really fun. We've been getting a lot more support with people watching the shows and subscribing on Twitter and following us on Twitch TV, which is awesome. So you know, if you guys know anybody that might want to be a gamer or talk about this stuff and they don't have anybody to talk about it to other than you, and you want them to make new friends, send them our way. Bring them on down to twitch.tv/BID_P. Check out the video archives that are up there. And Just saying that if anybody tells you that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual proclivity, disability, or your budget, you just tell them that we said take those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time on Bust a Recap.
Night, everybody.